Welcome to the Musing Moon Meditation. This moon meditation is brought to you by the full moon in Pisces. From my channel to yours, blessings to you, my energetic beings, and SHA to you, my friends, and welcome to this Musing Moon Meditation. I am your host, Holistic Shaman Medium and Subtle Energy Surgeon, prescribing the indigenous ways of nature to heal what ails you through the galactic grid. For more insight into what it is I do exactly, head on over to my Musing Club at club.tonyadee.tv as we continue into the realms of the moon. So this full moon, known as the harvest or the hunter's moon, comes to us. So check your time zone for the moment she lights up in your earthly realm. My time zone, the mountain time, she is at her apex at almost the midnight hour at the 28th degree. At the cusp of the 20 and the 21st of September, the end degree of the season of Virgo. So this truly is the dreamiest moon of the year. It casts a spell, if you will. You might feel a little extra sensory or sensitive and creative, and also have an intuitive magical moment. So Pisces is actually ruled by not only the magic of Neptune, but also the water, the galactic water of the ocean, and I feel the galaxy as well. So this moon herself loves the watery container of all the water signs the most, I feel. It's under this cascading waves of this ocean, this ebb and this flow, and the waves allow the moon to express her bounty of energetic potential. And as we know, the moon represents our emotions. It's our emotional state of awareness. It governs and is also linked strongly to our emotional body, how we are feeling, our emotional field, our sacral energetic center. It's also connected to our feelings of safety and security, our heart center. How emotionally safe and secure do we feel as we move about the world? Being that it's this feminine energy on a potent full moon as this one, this energy is present in all the living things and the other world as well. You could find issues in the realm of relationships with the feminine, the divine feminine on the rise. Maybe even see this playing out with your female relationships, the females around you. It's the sign of Virgo. Virgo is the body. It's the mother-daughter relationships, the healer, the analyzer, the organizer, the detail-orientated aspects. Just depending on your own individual cosmic energies, each full moon will affect us each differently. Along with what the moon herself is destined to kind of stir up in our cosmic soup. So energetically, full moons are a time of illumination, it's gestation, culmination. They're really the peak of the lunar cycle. Like all great stories, when we climax and reach our peak, our apex, that climax is the chapter that we are journeying in. So if you were to go and muse about the events that were unfolding for you during the new moon in Virgo, and also muse about the events that were being stirred in March during the Pisces new moon as well, you might see the beginning of the story that has now actually reached its peak. It is climaxing. So kind of just muse about those times and those energies. Can you see or are you able to create any links between what was unfolding then in your life to the now, the current thread? Whatever manifests, it's likely that you are at the tail end of that. Maybe you are feeling and connecting to the thread of the moment and what that really has to offer. So full moons are also a time of energetic releasing too. So if there is something that you wish to release from your life, it's the magical month to set those intentions. As you think about what you no longer wish to hold on to, send it love, gratitude, and under the magic of this bright full moon, exhale it all away. Take notes if you feel called. Utilize the magic of the elements. Burn it for transformation. Let it go down a river. You can even bury it in Mother Earth at the base of an old wise tree. And being that Neptune is the planet of illusions and dreams and intuition, our psychic abilities, it's going to be hyperactive during this full moon. Neptune itself is just 7 degrees away at 21 degrees, and this full moon is actually at 28. So 7 is this magical number associated with Neptune and Pisces, along with the 12th house. So it's this container, it's this spiritual realm, it's spiritual karma, it's lessons of a spiritual matter even. So Neptune, when active, can create a foggy energy. My personal Neptune is at the calibration of 22 retrograde. So for me, it's like listening to God through static. I really have to ground my emotions and feel into all the things and meditate often. So at times, it feels like wading through the forest, the thickest of them, unable to see what's ahead, the forest through the trees. Sometimes to make a decision or have the ability to think with a clearer mind, telepathy is really a thing for me. And being that it is Neptune, our emotions kind of get stoked like a fire. We can see what is bubbling beneath those coals or the surface under the presence of this magical god of the ocean. It's sometimes a challenge to see or analyze what we feel. You might find yourself ebbing and flowing between one feeling and space to the next. So it's best to navigate the ocean of emotions under this watery full moon with our heart on our sleeve. So if you try to use the rational mind to understand things, it might just add more confusion to the cosmic soup. If we allow or let our thought processor to go, at least for the moment, and slip into a place of our emotional thread lines, we then just might be able to intuit the answers that we are seeking from within. So intuition has a variety of channels. Sometimes a feeling of a knowing, an inner knowing, where you don't have the concrete proof or even a reason for feeling the way that you do. It's just this strong inner beacon of light, a sense of knowing. So I share insight into the clairs and the energy body demystified. And also, I just did a Musing podcast about the moon in your natal chart and the gifts that actually come through each of the channels in the houses, the plate that they actually get served upon. So when we step out of our rational mind into the space of the Holy Spirit, the emotional field, it calls us to disconnect from seeking any evidence. Instead, it allows us to connect to our feeling or emotional state of awareness with our feelings. For a moment, to embody this space, this feeling, just go ahead and place your left hand on your heart, close your eyes, and in this here and now moment, just ask yourself, what are 3 words to describe how you are feeling right now? Now, after you have answered that, take a breath, take a pause. Don't try to answer with your mind. Instead, kind of bow your head to your heart and drop into your heart channel. Sink right in and answer from a place of pure feeling. You might just be surprised what answers float up into your consciousness, into those cloud lines. Oftentimes when we do this, we are able to shift out of the judge's zone or the judgment zone and really find ourselves in a deeper, more connected space. We often aren't even aware of how we are feeling until we allow this sort of awareness to really flow in. So it's an easy way that we can initially just practice to consistently connect with our emotional body and even understand ourselves on a deeper cascading level. Our emotions aren't often or always our truth. They are, however, always valid, and they also need to be validated as well. They can also be our guides as to what we need to explore, to look at, to dive deeper into. Emotions can also be deceiving, so it's just a great idea to not give them a label or to judge them. Imagine them as kind of visitors coming and going, ebbing and flowing. They too want to be heard. They also want to be seen. And when we allow them to rise up, they often fall away with grace. Even as Neptune is strongly connected to water and the oceans, just spending time with water, the sea, a river, warm water running, taking a bath, swimming, I'm in my pool quite often lately, or even staying extra hydrated. If you want You can also program your water with crystals, infuse the water with an intention, even a prayer. It's just a magical way to utilize this energy and spending time with different creative projects. And being that this is the harvest full moon, this Piscean full moon, along with the energies of Neptune, it's really a blessing to have this combination for all of our artistic and creative magic. If you yourself work in a creative field, have a creative project that you wish to really get off the ground and elevate, definitely use this full moon energy, the divine uniqueness, where we bring the channel of God, the divine, into the reality, into the realm of our reality. Because we have this spiritual support, the commitment to the decision to make it manifest in the realm of our physical reality. All this watery energy is just great for connecting to our intuition, our dream channel, our creative dream channel. If it feels a little bit overwhelming or like it's pushing you into a place of emotional disruption or instability, let that unfamiliar frequency go down the river. It also can manifest a feeling of needing to escape from reality or the unconscious pressures of life. Some forms of escapism are kind of healthy, and other forms actually can also do us harm. So just be aware of this energy under this full moon. If you do feel as if you need to escape, utilize healthy outlets like meditation or journaling. That's always an option. Cuddle up with yourself, be your own blanket. Give yourself a hug, get immersed in a movie. Just know that trying to escape in life, unfortunately, it always comes knocking at the inner door, the day-to-day or the world door. In our reality, actually, once again. So the God channel only gives us what we can handle. We always have free will channel as well. So support comes in a variety of ways with this full moon, as the spirit channel is open and so is the reality channel. Virgo, again, is the healer, the analyzer, the reality channel, the body, where Pisces is the channel of spirit, all of the clairs that exist within us, the guardian of our galaxy, our beingness. So just ask for an angelic being to support you, or whatever other worldly being that you call in, a Sira, your higher self, or what you look like in the other realms. It's a great time to put an end to those habits that are less than healthy, or lifestyle choices as well. You can really use this energy to your emotional frequency. Trust your intuition, use your sixth sense to kind of navigate those waves through any challenging obstacles that actually might be present or present themselves. This really is a magical time. It's an intuitive time. It's a dream weaver, creative, pulsing energy. Even if we feel extrasensory or sensitive, there is this magic, there is this beauty that resides within us, while at the same time, we connect to all the subtle energies and frequencies of our world or environment around us. The magic of connection with this ebb and this flow of our emotional body through the waves of Neptune, the spiritual channel of immersion into that realm. It's this magical illusion space, but it's also our dreams and our intuition, our insight. So you might not feel the emotions of every truth or the highest truth, the spiritual truths. It's really part of our human experience to really feel, to flow, to allow our beingness, our essence, to experience the emotional rainbow, if you will. And within this rainbow, there is this essence of us becoming more compassionate. That is the Piscean energy, more forgiving, just more intuitive, being more open, being more kind. We begin to really understand our emotions through a deeper level. What is the driving force? Where are our intentions really coming from? And just allowing the rhythm of these emotional threads and really explore them under this full moon. Embrace them as they flow without any judgment or any self-criticism, self-sabotaging. Just let them move like the wave. Trust your intuition. Allow them to whisper to you. Pluto is also sextiling this moon, so you want to ask yourself what you belong feeling, Be your own boss of your feelings. We also have an air trine. So be aware of your relationship channel, the mind. What are you open to receive? Do those thoughts belong in your channel? Are they positive? It's always better to stay in the positive loop. So it's a magical moon to create a mantra, a personal affirmation. Bring in the power of spirit into the world, the reality of the life you want to live, the blessing of being the being that you are meant to be, just allowing any fears that come up to float away. They no longer resonate. It's the highlight of the balance between order and chaos in our life. It's this otherworldly sensitive event where we might find ourselves a little bit overwhelmed by our feelings or the energies around us, even if we aren't open to those subtle energies. So take the time to daydream during this moon. Imagination energy, compassion, calm, flowing with ease with whatever changes might come. Powers of empathy are likely to be strong around this moon. We have an increased awareness within humanity with the polarities of Virgo and Pisces. They share this urge of being in service and to devote ourselves to something more than our personal journey or our material journey. It could be an idea, a higher being, or the collective realm. Our actions take on a deeper meaning when we decide to take them to a vision of a higher realm, the greater good. Giving of service in this way is really a reminder that we are all connected, that we are all one. This one is, it's the key message for this full moon, the oneness field. The energy of Virgo is the healer, the analyzer, the organizer, where Pisces is the energy that knows we are all made up of that same substance, the star grid. We are all stars. Being rooted in the earth, Virgo, and devoted to the practical, the knowledge, the solutions that come from the knowledge. So the Pisces is connected to a more of a galactic universal kind of understanding, transcending the individual self to merge with the universal consciousness. If the form we are most drawn to in this shadow form, Pisces, energy can manifest as addiction or simply a loss of self, where the shadow side of Virgo can be a compulsion to kind of micromanage all the tiny details of our lives and even those lives around us. So this full moon could highlight where we are in control and also where we are out of control in our lives, and also how we can find the balance within the two. So Neptune, the magical planet that rules Pisces, is in its own sign, and it's really so close to this full moon. It's really amping up this mystical, magical energy. It's this nebulous energy that can leave us feeling confused, lacking in control or a sense of direction, where the Virgo end of the spectrum seeks to impose that direction, but going with the flow is the only way to kind of master this strong Neptune and Piscean energy. So we're likely going to be especially aware of our flow of energy with this full moon, moving with our inner tides, those emotional frequencies, as well as the tides of the collective energy all around us. There are a couple of other planets at play as well in this configuration. We have Uranus, the innovator, upcycling our values in ways that are unexpected, challenging us to break out of those old patterns. It's this Taurus energy. So if your tendency is to respond to life passively so that you only ever go with the flow, you might actually be prompted to take more of a direct action. If your habit is to micromanage in your life and control every tiny detail, this full moon will break down those structures and demand that you really surrender to what comes. We also have, in the meantime, a helpful shadowy aspect with Pluto that might actually pull us to the underworld. Just know, however deep you do go, you're going to find the resources that you need to return to the surface with a hidden treasure. So I decided to go through each of the sun signs with this moon. If you know your rising sign as well, or even your moon, you can see or listen to what aspects or plate this full moon will play out on for you. So Aries, this full moon brings an energy of release for you. It's a chance to really let go of what no longer serves you, make space for the seeds of a new beginning. You might need to go out of your own way and let go of a need to rush ahead. Your usual impulse of action and quick thinking might seem to be lost in a fog, just out of reach among the mists. So this full moon brings these subtle shifts and calls upon you to really surrender yourself, at least for just a little while. Taurus, this is likely to be a very sociable full moon for you, but it will also challenge you to go in deeper. You might be called to let go of what is tangible in order to connect more deeply to a sense of a higher purpose and meaning in your life. This might not be what you expect, and if your plans go sideways around this full moon, it might be the universe assisting you to really align yourself more clearly with this sense of purpose. Gemini, this full moon falls in your house of career and vocation. If you've been seeking to make any changes or shifts in this area, something might come to a head which assists you on your way. It might not happen in a way that you might expect, so really pay attention and keep your mind open. Focusing on a specific goal or a plan will only take you so far. You really need to surrender to a higher calling and just let go of your usual logic or rational approach in these things. Cancer, this moon phase highlights the realm of exploration and higher thinking for you. You might find yourself traveling somewhere new, either literally or even figuratively in the imaginational realm. It's likely that you are more comfortable with traditional beliefs and philosophies, finding a sense of security and belonging in ideas which have been passed down through generations. If you become too attached to these, this energy within this full moon might call you to release them in a favor of a more mystical, spiritual connection and a direct experience of the luminous field. Leo, your close relationships are under the spotlight around this full moon. You're called to move beyond your personal experience. You might have a sense of merging with someone close to you or even with the world around you, so that your usually strong sense of self seems to be dissolving. This can feel unsettling in a way, but if you surrender and trust in your feelings, it can bring a rush of creative energy. Your imagination is especially powerful at this time. Virgo, with the sun in your own sign, this illuminates your close relationships, and you might be gaining a new awareness of the balance of energies between your feeling self and your practical, everyday self. If you struggle to express your feelings, then you might be compelled to actually do so, because this moon phase is asking you if you are surrendering to the flow of your relationships or trying to control them. So this full moon also brings a reminder of why you gave service, and more specifically, to what or to whom. Libra. This full moon lunar phase energy is likely to manifest for you through practical work. You'll have a need to get stuck into and complete any outstanding projects or tasks that you honestly dislike. You might be called to manifest your ideals in a tangible way, because this full moon is asking you to come down from your ivory tower and simply do the work that needs to be done. If issues around your well-being are arising or on the rise, deal with those underlying cause of the imbalance, not just the surface manifestation. Scorpio, this full moon is really bringing about creative potential for you. As long as you are able to balance connecting deeply with your emotions and your inner self and finding those tangible ways to really manifest this connection, it's really a time to create without a specific goal in mind. Just simply allowing yourself to be a channel for whatever wants to really come through. Just let your inner boundaries dissolve a little bit and allow yourself to be vulnerable, especially if there's someone you want to really get to know better. Sagittarius, this lunar phase might bring the tides of your past washing back to you, taking you back to your source, wherever you came from. It's likely that you've traveled a long way, had a long journey since, either literally or figuratively as well. So issues around your home or your family might show you how your journey has brought you full circle, or simply how much you've learned. You might find yourself considering what it means to belong, to be traveling towards home instead of really moving away from it. Capricorn. So this moon phase for you, Capricorn, is in your house of communication, and it might bring you some frustration. Your usual down-to-earth approach will only take you so far, and you might struggle to grasp ideas which should be solid. So this is a time to let go of your striving and bring your imagination and intuition into play, making space for a more creative approach or outlook. So this full moon is calling you not only to think outside the box, but to allow the box to dissolve away completely. Aquarius, little aquas out there, this full moon falls in the realm of your values and security, so that issues around work or material abundance might be coming to a head. Just letting go of control in these areas can make you feel especially vulnerable, but it can also open the way to a more creative way of living. Your fixed nature means that surrender might not easily come to you, in which case, remember that you are the water bearer and you carry the powers of imagination, instinct, and intuition within you. You are frequency. Pisces, this full moon is in your own sign. Congratulations and welcome. It's conjunct your own magical ruling planet Neptune. It brings this powerful rush of energy for you. You're likely to be feeling extra sensitive to your own inner self, as well as all those energies around you, those subtle energies. So just surrender to the flow and enjoy the deep connection to the great mystery, the great magic. You might not have a choice anyway, actually. And once this full moon energy has passed by, be sure to just make some self-time for some self-care, so you can also integrate all you have actually learned and felt into. So with all of that, let's take 11 breaths and clear out the intuition channel, the karma, the breath, and the light through the magical chalice of the heart. And breathe in white light or effervescent purple through the crown and exhale through your heart space. So before we begin, I want you to affirm first and foremost the magical being that resides within you, and affirm the magical beings in the other world, the keepers of the wild, the Wedame, the ancestors who are our allies, the Great Spirit, the divine, the source, the guardians of our galaxy, the light beings, the beings, all the beings, the seen and the unseen, are gatekeepers. And affirm the greater spirit, the connection to the one. So as we breathe in through the crown and exhale through the heart, we're going to inhale through the crown. And as you exhale on this first breath, I want you to evict any foreign energy that clouds your sense of boundaries, fogging up your reality. Inhale through the crown. The love, the feeling of the connection to the Great Spirit, the divine. Exhale any feelings that are less than loving through your heart channel, evicting all emotions that are love-less. Inhale through your crown, all the emotion that feels connected to the source, evicting all foreign energy and emotional debris. Inhale through the crown, the beliefs that are feeling higher or felt higher, and evict on your exhale all feelings that entangle your belief system like a web. Only your feeling of personal beliefs are allowed. All others are evicted. Inhale through the crown. the awareness of what feelings do belong, what feelings no longer belong, on the exhale are evicted from your field. Inhale through the crown, the thoughts, the affirmations, the goals that resonate with your emotional field. Evict on your exhale all thoughts that take down your tower of spirit. You're connected to the divine and creating a reality that you are connected to the source. Your intuition channel is open. And as you inhale again, breathe in through the crown, your ability to receive the gifts of the guardian of your galaxy, your gatekeeper. You are open to it, your higher self. And on your exhale, release out through your heart space all the foreign energy, the debris that feels less than in your receiving channel. Breathe in through your crown, the light of the greater spirit, your intuitive channel, your sensing channel. You are in your recalibration station to be gifted the insights, the information from the source. And as you exhale, any and all beings that are less than are evicted. The only voice you hear is the voice of your gatekeeper, your guardian, your personal animal totem, and so much more. Now, as you inhale through your crown, the feelings you are committed to are the feelings that embrace your decisions to live in a high frequency, high vibrational life, the frequency channel of who you are in your being. Any decision you might have made in the past is being evicted of all the foreign debris. It's in your past. You are a being gifted the light. And as you exhale, you're releasing all of that. Inhale, the positive actions that you are being gifted from your spirit, actions and behaviors that are in character for whom you are being, are coming from a higher source. And as you exhale, you're exhaling all the ingredients or characters that you are no longer. Eviction of all the characters that you might have been in the past, and inhale the being that resides within you. You are manifesting and creating the channel of spirit, the connection to the divine, the source, protecting your heart along with your manifestations, exhaling all the gnats, the debris that is clogging or fogging up your manifestation. And on your last inhale is that of the Creator. You are co-creating with the divine, the being you are meant to be, your prime directive, bringing into your personal chalice the world you are wanting to be in, the feelings of love in your reality, pouring more of the feeling of love in your personal chalice, the reality of your palace, anything that no longer cascades or ebbs or flows into the being you're ultimately becoming. You are in protected waters, the Great Spirit, all the things, the events that are less than are being evicted from your palace on this exhale. Now take a final inhale, breathe in, and as you exhale, so it is. Make this harvest moon a harvest moon to remember. And with that, inshallah and ashe, blessings, my energetic beings, and as always, I will see you on the other side.